Right. We haven't done this in a while, and you're bleeding throwing your phone around the place. You mean,
No, that was my microphone.
I don't care, right? Welcome back to
It's all
Dragon.
squeak.
And this is our first impressions of Candela Obscura. Or actually, I actually have the limited edition book. First impressions of Candela Obscura, Critical Role's newest RPG systems, the Illumination Worlds. What do you think?
I had a ton of fun with what we played anyway, I have to say that much. I think we had some good crack.
I was super nervous running it for the first time ever.
Yeah, you were nervous. I was nervous playing it, in all fairness. But.
And I was trying to get my head out of the D&D mindset. It was more, I think that, like, we'll get into what we'll change and what we'll do in the later bit of the video. But this is just the first impressions of it. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think everyone was slowly, it took a while to get out of that D&D mindset and into like a horror aspect. And like, you're like, there's clues and stuff that you had to find, and I think then the ball started rolling, and then everyone just got really into it. Oh, it was so fun.
Some of the initial kind of parts of it that we played were definitely a little bit all over the place, in the sense of people finding their feet. It was just it was a little bit messy to get going. But I think we slowly kind of, as we were saying the other day, it was kind of about halfway through. I feel like it started to kind of click with it all of us then that everyone's coming from your different classes. I was playing. What was I playing? A thief, wasn't it?
You are. It's a sling. I think it's slink. Criminal.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah, Slink Criminal was mine. So it's kind of like fun little mechanics. Kind of some mechanics of being able to do the
abilities are
something.
Literally
abilities are.
Heaven.
Perfect, yeah. That's one of my biggest things I liked about it. How like the abilities were very kind of specific sometimes to like specific roles or something like that. Like, I know was to do with like a focus role. I think
focus. I know one of the other players played a magician, and one of his abilities is I know a guy. And
that's a simple.
You just use it once an assignment that he knows a guy, and I made an NPC who was an officer for the Oak who then he had an interaction with, which is, it's just these little things that just make the game go smooth as butter sometimes. I think, you know what I also think was the main, like, why people found it very hard to get into. One, I think, is the setting.
Setting is very difficult.
Try to get your head into the setting. Two, I think a lot of people rely on magic so much, and when you take the magic out of it, like, it's a magical world, yes, but the people not necessarily are magic. Do you know what I mean? They can't rely on like using shape change and going crawling around. They have to actually use their noggin, which I love.
Yeah, you feel a lot more like a more regular person in a bit of a supernatural world, in a sense. Because even with that, I think one of the guys was the magician, and he was able to do like almost like a Misty Steps type movement.
Yes.
Remember, he did like a little teleport.
But
there was a big. This is what I like. There's a big kind of like repercussion to actually using magic.
Yeah, he gets a blade mark, which in Candela Obscura, there's 3 different ways you take damage. There's the body, blade, and mind, basically. So one is physical damage, like psychological damage, and one is just magic itself corrupting you, which is so cool. It's such a great system.
Yes, the bleed isn't like an actual bleed like you have in games. Like it's genuine. That's the word used for like magic corruption, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, because this evil has bleed into this world. Like, it's really cool. So talking about that, what do you like about Candela Obscura?
Once again, I like because I'd only played. I'd say there's definitely similarities to Call of Cthulhu and it.
Big time.
This definitely feels a lot more of the cinematic style of kind of play, which I really like.
You're reading my brain. I think this is the first time I've ever played like theatrical. This is the first time I think I've ever played theatrical roleplay. Yeah. Man, let me couple up because it was like the great thing about that was, as a DM, there was never any like Like in the book, it tells you if you think the player can make that roll, don't let them roll. Only make them roll if you think there's a consequences to the roll. And I love that.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's no argument. Do you know what I mean? There's no like, oh well, I cast a spell 50 feet and 60 feet. There's a range of fire. Like there was none of that bullshit. It was just all of us playing the game, trying to see what the fuck is going on. I fucking loved it, man.
There's something interesting about that because like you're given a lot of resources with Candela to like increase your chances of success, and even when saying that, with how you definitely don't roll anywhere near as much for checks wise and stuff like that, which I do like because once again it leans to a more cinematic.
Yes.
Only when there's like some pretty big repercussions to your roll are you going to be rolling. So then every time you do roll, you're like, oh, fuck.
Do I drive here? Do I use a drive? Do I use a drive?
Bleep me there.
Yeah. Do I use a drive there? Do I not? I love the way that I have to tell you as well if this is like a low stakes roll, high stakes roll, life or death. I love that. That's like my fucking bread and butter.
Yeah, and it's just giving you enough to know because you're like, I better use it. I better use like burn 2 drive on this or something like that.
Yeah. If you don't understand what we're talking about as well, is Candela Obscura works off D6s, and let's just say for like argument's sake, if you want to compare it to D&D, let's say you have a perception and you have 1 action point in the deception, you roll 1d6. Or you can spend drive. I think you have like 9 drive, and you can roll more dice with it. So you kind of, but once they're spent, they're gone. Once they're gone, they're gone. So it's kind of like, do I use it now? Do I use it later? It's a great system. It's a fun ass fucking system.
And from the player side, like you think 9 is a lot of drive. Like I think my highest was 7 or something like that. Because like you're not guaranteed 9. Like some of your highest one would be like a kind of 9ish range. I think my character had 7 in whichever one it was. I can't remember. And I was like, oh Jesus, just loads. I'll never run through that. And by the end, I think I only had 1 or 2 left to drive altogether. Like
it's because you just don't want to. It's them like you fail a lot in this game. Like there is like 3, 2, 1 is a failure on a D6, which is crazy, and 4 and 5 is mixed success. Like still comes with a cost. Like there's like 6s is the only like proper success in this game, and I love it. And I've also found out that I was being too. I should have been. So what I liked the dice, and I like the way it's role playing. Here's something I like. It's not like I don't like. It's just me mentally. I needed to get out of my head as a DM. I felt like giving you marks was a punishment, like, and I didn't want to be punishing people, and I needed. That's just me, because it's not. Like I watched an episode of Candela Obscura, and oh my god, Abria hands them out like they're smarties.
So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there is like they tell you as the GM in Candela Obscura to like there's set points where you will give like a failed roll will give bleeds or whatever, whichever point it is. But it is at your discretion, right? Whether if someone's trying to make a roll and it's not stated in the book, let's say, that's your discretion to be like, I think that would take one. You know what I mean? I think you definitely have a lot of power in that sort of sense.
Yeah, like in Candela Obscura, when I was watching an episode, they were trying to climb this rope, right? And then Sam Riegel's playing his character, and he's trying to outweigh. It was like a fucking ego off between 2 of them. Your man fails his roll, and he's like, no, he passes his roll, he's still like, okay. But Abria gives him a brain, saying that he's at the hurting your ego so much that it's like and he really played into it, and he's just like, yes, and he's like, it's fucking brilliant. Like it's just, I think you need to, if you're running this game, you need to like put on the front line that marks, giving your players marks isn't a punishment.
Yeah,
it's just the way things go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just kind of just part of the world as well when it comes to like, I think there is obviously like in your regular kind of D&D world, obviously there's dangers, but like once again, in this sort of setting, this horror kind of setting, you feel very fragile we're going through this world where it's like, even just that we had one obstacle where we had to make a jump, and I was so certain, I was like, someone's going to die here. It's going to be like such a...
because I made
God.
them. I told them that this is a life or death roll,
Yeah.
and they're
we,
all
had
like,
to, we had to jump this gap and we had 2 like NPC characters with us. And so we burned through, like, that's why, like, what we previously mentioned, one of the guys uses teleport, he automatically takes a fucking bleed or brain from it. Bleed, was it?
bleed, I'm pretty sure.
And then we burned so much drive on it. I think I even gave drive to somebody else. Like, we burned through so much to like try and limit any damage. And after that too, the fucking
I rolled 4 ones for the NPCs. So I just told the party that there's all 4 of them there, and they look around, and there's just the 4 of them, while the other 2 are just completely gone. Like, it's just it's a great thing. And there's also something that you don't know that I was reading the book more about. They have a thing called a countdown system. Now, I should have used this instead. So, let's say they have a D6, they place it down, and you go around the group once, and everyone has a way of, it's a way of like high intense moments. You go D6, okay, and then people are like, okay, so let's, like, for the scenario, you're sneaking into an office, you're trying to get the yoke, and you hear the door behind you slowly open. What do you do? And you go around the table, and every success brings that D6. Like, so, like, success will bring it down by 2. So now it's a 4 until it's 0, and that means you passed that test as a group. But if you don't get it to 6 down to a 1, or like down to a 1, something bad's gonna happen. So you have to chip away at the 6. Yeah, you can either do a D6 or D3 version of it. It's really cool. They kind of have that as well. Like, there's no monster with HP in this game, so they kind of use the countdown system for monster to see if you can get out of the way.
Like that,
so think of it like a quick action event in the game. Like, you're pressing, like, would you dive left or you dive left? Okay, roll, see if it's success, and it goes over. It's still keeping that, like, theater mind to it. And it also says that, like, come up, like, if your players come up with an ingenious way to defeat the beast, go with that. Like, there's no HP for monsters, like, but monsters can instantly kill characters, like.
And do you know what I just dawned on me now? It never even clicked to me. Like, we had so much fun playing that, and like, we actually didn't have a combat even in the session. Like, it's just only there.
I don't think Candela is built for combat. It's just built for investigations. Now, there can be combat, there could be shootouts and stuff like that. But like it's more theater than mind, which I fucking love, man.
I was gonna say we had some fucking, as we said, we were a bit slow getting going and everything, but when we got to that house with the woman,
I kind of took over then. Like, that's like, we were running the Dressed for Killed yoke, and there's an NPC, there's a woman, and our wife is sick upstairs. But I kind of took it to the wife upstairs is supposed to attack you.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and I just went, I don't like that. So I went, and I made her like this like sack of pill that the wife is just keeping alive because she loves her so much. And the lads copped on straight away what it was. And I'm not gonna lie, I'll play a few clips of it here now, but Horse and Clock had me like, oh my god, this is so cool.
At least we've seen that from the glowing green bone, it is identical to what happened to the woman on the stage. But I believe we are done here, and I'm just going to be looking around at the rest of them.
I agree.
Nothing we can do.
And he's going to look down at the one who's screaming on the floor and say, if you really loved this woman, would you let her suffer in this pain? Because you can't let go of her. You did it for you, not for her.
Phase is, what would we change? I would like, not necessarily what I would change. I would like Critical Role to do the same thing they did with Exandria, and just do like a lore dump video. Just give me like a bit of lore video on New Fair, and don't have to go super in depth because I know they're still creating the worlds with their Candela Obscura things. Yeah. But I just like just a little like video that's like says like, give me the atmosphere. Give me what people are like. Give me like a broad horizon of who the EONs are, OUPs, who Candela is, where they're situated. Like I forgot to tell you that they all have badges. Like they have like this pin king Candela, and that's how
Like
you
we
know.
do?
Yeah. That's how you know you're part of a circle.
Oh,
I was watching an episode and I was like, oh fuck, I was supposed to do that as well. It's just
Yeah.
these little things. Then I know. Then do you know what I mean? Now maybe it's just because I need to watch more Candela Obscura, but I was look for like a 10 to 15 minute video just of like the history, like 1973, the war happened, blah blah blah, and then Candela was born. Like something. That's what I would like.
I don't mind them if they're intentionally trying to keep things kind of obscure and a little bit unknown for
Candela
kind of
Obscura.
like, huh?
He said obscure.
Oh god, no. If like I can understand if that's the reasoning why that they're trying to keep it a little bit vague, but I think there is a certain amount of world knowledge your characters have to have, because I know we kind of ran into that a few times where we're like, I know for Jess when she was asking, she played a
she was
occultist?
an occultist. Yes, weird occultist.
Yeah, and there was certain, so one of her abilities, she was able to gauge what the bleed, like this, like kind of what function of the bleed. What was it?
If she took the blade, she would know the source of the blade.
Yeah,
like what was like intended for.
But there was another one where she was able to like ask a question about it as well.
Yeah.
And I remember I had like Lob struggled, but we all kind of were struggling because it's like, well, how much does our character, like there's a little bit of lacking information there.
Yes, yeah.
How much does our character know about this world and bleed? In the sense of, we don't want to ask a stupid question that our character would know and waste it.
I was being, and as GM in that point, you gotta be super like like I don't like broad questions. Because if you ask a broad question, you're getting a broad answer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. Yeah,
and but the thing also is, I won't let her ask a stupid question.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if she asked, like, say a stupid question, I'd be like, no, you'd know that. No need to answer. Give me some. But like in the new game setting, I'm gonna be 100% like, no, come on. What would you ask? And what would you ask? And then people were suggesting stuff. And then I was like, oh, but yeah, you can take that. Like, and she's like, oh yeah, no, I'll take the suggestion. Question. What was the intent of the blade? I think was the question.
That's it.
Because she was asking. I think she asked the question like, what was this blade supposed to do or something like that? And it's like, it's not really like.
Yeah, so I guess a little bit more. Maybe a bit of reading for the players to have a basis of what.
Yeah, now they do say in the book, they say like they have these things called touchstones, and they have like it's like BioShock, Elden Ring, but like all them worlds are completely different.
I like when I'm trying to picture, like there was one point where I was trying to keep track of one of the characters that was suspicious. And when I lost track of them and they were getting into a car and drove off, I just 100% was visualizing like a little fucking Kia car that in front, fucking scootering off when it's like 1910 or something like that.
I remember Crocs. One of the Crocs is one of the players. And he goes, I went up to the factory and goes, oh yeah, there'll be no cameras in here because it's in 1902. And I was like, oh yeah. And then I went at the end of it, you see a camera looking around. I was like, oh, bollocks, for hell. And I goes, then I had to make up a reason why it was like showing you like 2 frames per second. Because it's like I completely forgot that half an hour clock's like, oh, there was no clock. I was like, shit. And I was like, yeah, you see this like weird contraction, like, you know what I mean?
It's a very primitive looking camera.
Sometimes you have to get your mindset into that. What also I did like about it are the illuminated keys.
That was fun, yeah.
The personal goals.
Yeah, so each character now, I don't know if you make your own character, are they? I presume you work with the DM to kind of write your own.
They're not the same for each
class.
Oh,
interesting.
So a detective will have a different one than a criminal.
Right. So essentially, each class will have your like mini goals, essentially.
Yeah, which are cool.
And
I like.
Yeah, and like they're fun. Like they're nice. Once again, this is it. Like everything is like catered around the narrative, because like mine was like make a deal, steal something, or do something illegal, and I can't remember what the last one was. But it constantly had the mindset is like I don't want to be the cunt that's going around like stealing everything, but I need to pick my right opportune moments, and it actually kind of worked out well enough as well. What I went stealing, but at the end,
system is fun as well.
Yeah, it ties into
It does tie in.
Yeah, it does tie into the level up system.
Sorry, that's why I thought you were going. It's like.
Yeah. Sorry, no, I got confused for a second there. But yeah, so your overall keys as you're from the circle when they hit the minimum, then we level up. Then we level up, was it?
It's kind of like it adds to the circle and it creates a circle.
Like
depending on how many you get, and then your circle grows up in power, and you go up in power as well. It's such a great system because like you have to ask the players, and at the end of an assignment, do you think you did this right? Did you think? And then we all talk about, oh, do you think you did it? Okay. Like you asked to do a deal, and he goes, well, technically I did the deal with Yoke, even though, and I go, well, yeah, technically you did do a deal. Like, so,
somebody else was like narrate or like doing the talking to make the deal, and then at the very end, I was like, "We got a deal."
Yeah, he was like, "You got a deal," and I
shook his hand.
It's just but I never felt like the eliminated keys. It was like never felt like people were like
forcing to do
it. Yeah, exactly. I think it was just like people looked at it like, oh shit, okay, maybe I'll roleplay this bit, and I like it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah.
Now, overall,
mm-hmm.
what would you rate Candela Obscura? 4 session as a player.
Yeah, bear in mind, well, we played for 5 hours, was it?
Yeah.
Per session. So obviously you have to really dive into it. But like from the get go, I'd be pretty high with like I'd say about 8.5 or 9. Like I would
give it a 9 out of 10.
There's nothing really I disliked. I really just enjoyed it.
The only thing is if I could give my players something to watch so they could understand the world and help them get into it, I think that's the only reason it's not a 10 out of 10.
I think that's the thing that's going to be a struggle for a lot of people, unless you've played like Call of Cthulhu before. I think Call of Cthulhu is like 1915 kind of setting. So it will be some very similar setting. Obviously as your touchstones there that you mentioned before. But it is just trying to keep that in mind of which time, like the time that you're in and what you can do, can't do, sort of thing. That's probably the difficult thing. But that's not really an issue. I know you could say they could definitely do like a little handout or something to the players or video, as you're saying, that can do it. But I wouldn't knock it for that reason too much at all.
Watch an episode of Candela Obscura.
Well, that's it. Like they're putting
like
they
do a lot of like I won't call it cosplay because it's actually proper like
they dress up like as their characters, you know.
Yeah. There's like proper like they're playing the roles like proper actors.
Yeah. They're all dressed.
And even the sets, fuck me, the sets an amazing set. Like so like they really do pull it. I would definitely Dopes of the Dragons gives Candela Obscura a 9 out of 10.
No, put the 9 here.
9 out of 10. So if you agree with us or if you disagree with us, leave in the comments below because we'll only answer the people who disagree. No, we won't. We'll answer back to all the comments and make sure you subscribe. Don't like, just subscribe. We need to get them numbers up, please.